Hello and welcome back to Weyermann's Whimsy. Today we're going to do a bit of a Throwback Thursday and do a remake of a card I made a couple of years ago into one using some current products today. So we all have those sets that we love that get retired and we don't want to give them up. So I thought on Thursdays, I do, like I say, a Throwback Thursday and revisit some of the sets. So this time I'm using First Frost with the Frosted Bouquet dies, and I'm adding in the Stitched Rectangle dies, which is a current product, and the Meadow Moments Embossing folder, which is a new product as well. And I'm using the one with the leaves on the side. And I am actually embossing the card base itself. So I've got a standard North American card base, plus a piece of Melon Mambo, large enough to cut the, what size is it? Is it the second? It's the third largest, and then a piece of basic white, large enough for the fourth largest of the Stitched Rectangle dies. You can use whichever size you want. I just like this size on this one because it shows off more of the embossing. The dies, I have already pre-stamped and pre-die cut the flower for the middle, but I will show you how I built this. So we're going to take the card front, or card base, sorry, and we are going to just emboss the front of the card. So I'm using the fold in the card to kind of line it up against the edge. And I want to make sure that the Stampin' Up! Logo is up, and then my embossing will be raised as opposed to recessed. I'm going to open it up, and I'm going to put it through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss like this. So let's just get that lined up and pop it through. So yes, I thought as a demonstrator I should always be demonstrating new products or currently available products. And then I got to thinking that like I say, we've all got those favorites that we go back to, whether they're in the catalog or not. So that's the front of the card embossed. I'll just kind of flip it around so that you can see the detail of the embossing. It's just that nice touch. It stops the card front from being too plain. So then I'm going to take Mossy Meadow, and I'm going to use one of the stamps from the First Frost set. I'm going to ink it up really well, and I'm going to place it kind of towards the top corner because I needed to have enough room for the greeting at the bottom. So there is I just re-inked my ink pad, so it's really, really juicy. So it's going to be much darker than the example that I showed you. The little, this little piece is another stamp. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use Old Olive and Melon Mambo Stampin' Write markers, not the blends, because the blends are alcohol and they'll just dry up on you. They won't give you any ink. So I'm just going to use the Stampin' Write markers and color in the stamp, and then I'm going to huff on it to make sure it's moist enough to actually transfer the ink. It should be anyway, but I'm just going to make sure that I've got the whole of that. It's almost like a thistle top, but and then I'm just going to stamp it in here. So there you get the Old Olive with that, using the Stampin' Write markers to ink it up. Then I need to take my Melon Mambo, and I need to stamp my greeting at the bottom, which is wishing you all the best. So I'm going to stamp this right at the bottom. There we go. And then I'm going to dimensionalize the flower onto the card front here. And just like this, and I'm going to pop it up like that. And then I'm flat mounting it onto the Melon Mambo mat. And then I'll dimensionalize the whole thing onto the front of the card. So let's just make sure we've got that centered and it's straight. There we go. You can add bling to this if you want. I played with different ideas for adding faceted jewels or rhinestones or even the opal rounds, but I kind of like the simplicity of it, and I would like the detail in the embossing, and I didn't really want to detract from that. I wanted it to kind of stand on its own. So I am going to put this on this way because I want to make sure that I am even and straight with this edge. I'll just pop it down, and there we go. A wishing you all the best card using the First Frost and the Frosted Bouquet dies, along with the Meadow Moments embossing folder and some stitched rectangle dies. So thank you so much for watching this Throwback Thursday episode of Weyermann's Whimsy, and let's create together again soon.